I was just thinking today in Amrit Vela that we children are so fortunate that there is no situation or no problem to which we don't have a solution. Baba has made us so knowledgeful that we know exactly what needs to be done in every situation and what needs to be done to get out of it. I was talking to one sister yesterday. She is in Gyan for the last 6 months, and she was telling me that I am having body aches. And I asked her, why do you think you're having body aches? So she said, I'm not active enough. I'm not doing a lot of work. So I asked her, and why do you think you're not doing a lot of work? So she said, because there's no need, I think, because everything is being taken care of. So I don't need to do a lot of work, so I'm not doing it. So that's why I'm getting these body aches. So then I asked, so what do you need to do in this case? So she said, work. Find work and do it. So I need to start taking charge, start keeping active. So I said, and why aren't you doing it? So she said, because my Buddhi Yoga is with my body. So whenever I'm sitting, I'm just having Buddhi Yoga with my body, that my body is comfortable and I'm feeling good. But Baba is at the same time telling me, get up and be a Karma Yogi. But I'm not using. So Baba says that you have to use your body, mind and wealth. And according to Srimad, so you see that Baba has told us that use is necessary, mandatory, and abuse you don't have to do. Right? So sometimes people are not using their body, mind, and wealth also. And why are they not using their body, mind, and wealth? Because there is this strange sanskar that tells us that if you don't have to use it, it's a very great fortune. So, you have money, but you don't need to use it. It just keeps lying in the treasure store, very good. Or you have a body, you don't need to work, very good. But Baba says, no, you have to use it, because if you don't use it, you lose it. That's your opportunity to create good karma. And if you're not using it, then you're slowly going to be in a position where your body, mind, and wealth will be against you. It will start giving you trouble. It will become the door for Maya. And then the second thing is, use it according to Srimad. Because again, if you're dictated by vices, then and you are using it under the influence of greed or lust or anger or ego or attachment, then you are creating more vikarma out of it. So when I talked to that sister, she told me that Baba is constantly telling me, and I can hear that, it's always there in my heart and in my mind. I feel like Baba is constantly telling me that I have to use my body for seva, but I'm not using it, and that's why I'm having these aches and pains. And I have Buddhi Yoga with my body and not with Baba. And when I have Buddhi Yoga with Baba, then I have felt that Baba gives me willpower and I am able to use the resource of my body and I am able to create, some good karma out of seva. And when I do that, then my body thanks me by not giving me pain. But the thing is that I'm not doing that enough. So I was just, after having that conversation with that sister in the morning, I was thinking that we are such fortunate children that there is nothing that we don't understand, there is nothing that we don't have an answer to. We understand everything, we understand the solutions to everything. And the most important reason why we are not able to go back to our original powerful stage is that we don't have Buddhi Yoga with Baba. Because when we have Buddhi Yoga with Baba, then Baba is constantly giving us the knowledge, the knowledge Baba is giving us through the Murli. But when you have Buddhi Yoga with Baba, that knowledge remains emerged. And Baba is giving us the willpower and the power to execute, to see through the execution of that piece of knowledge. So we understand what needs to be done, what needs to not be done. But in order to refrain from not doing what doesn't need to be done, and in order to do what needs to be done, we need power, and Baba is giving us that power. And Baba is also giving us a lot of willpower. But I think, it's just because we don't have enough Buddhi Yoga with Baba, and we have a lot of Buddhi Yoga with the body and with the world, with the old world. That's why this is not getting done. So, nevertheless, I was just thinking that it's so fortunate of us that there is nothing that we don't understand and nothing that we don't have a solution to. The only thing is we are not doing it, and if we want to do it, we can, which is huge, because most people in the world are just struggling with questions and not knowing answers to it. And today Baba says that we should be egoless like Baba. And just think about, Baba says that Brahma Baba is also egoless, and Shiv Baba is obviously egoless. Shiv Baba's praise is the egoless one. So you call Shiv Baba Nirhankari. So Shiv Baba's praise has always been the egoless one. So Shiv Baba is egoless and Brahma Baba is also egoless. Now Baba asks us to be egoless. Now I was just thinking about, right from getting up in the morning till sleeping in the night, all the things that we do to just feed our ego. Yes, so there is this false idea of who I am, this false idea of security, this false idea of I matter, this false idea of I am worthy, and we are doing so much to just feed that false idea. Yes, and Baba today gives us the example of Brahma Baba's simple dressing. So Brahma Baba wore very simple clothes, and Brahma Baba taught children also to wear simple white robe, like very, our clothes are not just white, they are very ordinary. They don't cost much, they are nothing. So, they are white and they are very, very ordinary. And Brahma Baba also lived like that. And you see, the world is the world is doing so much when it comes to dressing. Just one aspect, you see, what to wear, what fabric, what design, what color, what this, what that. And why is the world, and not just clothes, but there is so much that people are putting on today: shoes, accessories, and bags, and this and that. And if you look at it, why are we doing all this in the world? Just to feed my ego. Because, and these days there is this one expression which is very rampant: I'm doing it for myself. Yes, I'm not doing it for others, I'm doing it for myself. But when we come into Gyan, the first question arises: why can't I be okay with myself just like that? And why does a dress, a dress, or how I dress, why does it have to have an impact on how I feel about myself? So you see, there are so many things that we are doing to feel good about ourselves, feel worthy within, or feel secure. And all these are aspects of ego, because you see that even when we are doing so much, are we able to, are we really feeling worthy within? Because that's just like a crutch that you're holding on to, and then again next day you have to make the same effort to look a certain kind. And if you're not doing that properly, then tomorrow you are heartbroken because somebody doesn't look at you as a worthy person. Somebody doesn't look at you as, well dressed and worthy because by virtue of your dress. So I was just thinking about so many things that people are doing to feed their ego. And I remember there was this one Mata, and she told me that my husband has been a very good husband almost 70% of our life. So he has been a very good husband, but these days he has changed, and he is doing things which I had never dreamt of. And he's into gambling and drinking and women and this and that, and I don't understand all of that, and it hurts me badly, and I miss him. So I said, you see that he has been good for 70% of your life, right? So he was a good husband. But what help did that do? So he was so good, but still it didn't make you self assured. So now that he is not good to you, you are again desperate. And I think, you're more desperate than you were when you got married. So I don't think that he being good is going to help you feel good about yourself. Yes, temporarily, but not permanently. So, whatever you are doing to feel good about yourself, hankering after him, begging, pleading to him, I think, you should, instead of doing that, you should take this opportunity to look at how empty and wounded you are inside, and understand that just by feeding your ego through this relationship, you're not going to get over your wounded self or your empty self. And you have to understand that in order to really come to a place where you're healed and full, you need to consider yourself to be a soul, remember Baba, and do good karma based on Srimad. And slowly, gradually, you will come to that place where you feel worthy inside out, not outside in. And if you look at the nature of relationships that we have today, more often than not, people are using their relationships, their contacts also to feed their ego and feel that I'm covered, or I'm secure, or I matter, or I'm worthy, or I'm loved. And these kind of thoughts you create on the basis of whatever is going on outside. But Baba says that's just an aspect of ego. And you see, the beautiful thing about ego is ego can be attacked. And because it is so superficial and so outer world based, so anybody can take it away from you and anybody can challenge it. And you see that in order to feed our ego, in order to feel that, I'm covered and secure and worthy, you are earning so much and building, big properties and cars and this and that. But again, can that make you feel secure really? Because anything happens to your car, your heart sinks. So your heart is still, the same. It's wounded in the same way. So what is the method to be egoless? So the method to be egoless is to be full from inside. So when we are full from inside, then we don't need to feed our ego. And what I have understood in this journey is feeding your ego is like a 24/7 job. So, it's a 24/7 job, and you cannot do anything if you're feeding your ego. So basically, that's why people are so useless these days, because the only task that they do right from getting up in the morning to sleeping in the night is feeding their ego. And give you one more example. It's a little twisted, but nevertheless, I will hope that you understand it. So, there is this one Mata, and her husband died. And her friend, she gave her lakhs of rupees, and she supported her financially. And but in my opinion, the Mata was not in dire need of financial support. Like, she had good financial strength, but still her friend gave her so much money and gave her financial support. And then every time this Mata would talk, she would only say that, my friend is so great and my friend is so good, and I never had a friend better than this, and she helped me in these times. And then, once I met that friend and I asked her, why did you give her so much money? And because she had already done the course, and now she had learned how to introspect and learned how to check her ego. So then I asked her, why did you give her so much money when she was not in need? So I told her that it's not that she was in that kind of need, because she had a house, she had resources, and I don't think she needed the money, but nevertheless you gave it. Why did you give it? So she said that, I have a lot of money, but I don't have many people who call me generous, or many people who say that I'm a very great or good person. And I did that so that I would have one friend who would do that for me. And ever since that day, she has been telling everyone around in the world that I'm such a great friend, and I have such a big heart, and I'm such a good human being. And I like that. And she said, now that I'm in Gyan, I understand that it's a game that I'm playing with myself, but this is the fact. So you see, many times the help that we are giving in the world to impure souls. So you see that in Baba's task, in Baba's work, the help that we give is gupta. Yes, so even if you are somebody who is supporting the yajna in a very big way, you wouldn't be called to the stage and felicitated and told that, this person donated so much and did so much. So it's all gupta. So, but in the world, it's not gupt. So, whenever you donate also, or you are giving to impure souls, so impure souls will always feed your ego when you do that. And they will, sometimes people will touch your feet, or they will hurl praises at you, and they will just tell you, somebody will call you God, and somebody will tell you something else. Or just like the friend said, she's such a big heart and she has been a very good friend. So we do so many things to feed our ego, and sometimes we don't understand that even if you feed the ego in various ways, multitude of ways, still, the nature of ego is such that it's like an empty well. And I think it's like a black hole. So the more you feed, whatever you put into it disappears and it's again empty. So it's very magical that whatever you do to feed your ego, it's only temporary, and again the emptiness is increasing day by day. And Baba says that, how do you become free from this game of feeding your ego? Because anybody who is with ego cannot do anything productive, because whatever you do, you will slowly, it will become about feeding your ego. And again, you will never be satisfied, never be contented, and then you will shift from, doing that thing to doing something else, because again the kind of satisfaction you wanted there, it won't be there, because it will slowly become about feeding your ego. So Baba says that you have to be egoless like Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba. And how do we become egoless? So the opposite of ego is Swaman, self-respect. And self-respect comes from following Baba's Shrimat. So the more you follow Baba's Shrimat, the more you remember Baba, the more you remember who you are, the more you, do every karma according to Shrimat, you are restored to your egoless original self. And this is what Baba asks us to become now. And you see, yesterday Baba gave us a very good point. Baba said, ego makes you talk so much. Yes, and if somebody is, I heard the other day, there were two people sitting, and one person said something, and the other person got offended, and then the other person spoke for, I think, 20 minutes continuously, just to convey to this person that you are wrong and I am right. And in the end, also, nobody was convinced. So it was, it was a very wasteful exercise, that this person wasted so much of verbal energy on this. And but ego will tell you that you have to prove that I am right, you have to, and it's a world of ego. So the thing is, if you don't do that, then other people will ask you, why didn't you do it? And other people will also assume that maybe because you are wrong, so you accepted it. Yes, or you would have argued, or you would have, moved the court, or you would have done something else to prove that you are right. So, another aspect of ego is this need to prove that you're right. You cannot just, it is not sufficient for you to know that you're right, but there is this desperate need to prove that you're right. And this is a very difficult aspect of ego. And I remember there was this one Mata, and she was going through a divorce case, and she said that I don't need the money, I don't need anything in the divorce. So I said, then just have mutual separation. So she said, no, my husband is alleging me for some things, and I need to prove that he is wrong in those charges and I am right, and I'm not that person he's talking about. And so I will spend the next 20 years of my life fighting that case, but I will not withdraw. So I said, but you see, in the end also, maybe you are not able to prove that. So she said, but I'm willing to fight for it. So I said, okay. And what about your children? And what about your peace of mind? So she said, I don't care about the children. I don't care about anything. I just want the world to know that I am right and he's wrong. And I said, okay, everybody has the right to choose for themselves. So if it suits you, go ahead. But you see, the thing is that why do we have this desperate need to prove that I'm right? If you know that I'm right, isn't that sufficient? And shouldn't we be spending our time and energy in creating our fortune rather than proving to the world that you're right? But you may be questioned many times, because if you are egoless and you are okay with knowing that you're right and with not proving it, then people will say that, okay, because you have got nothing to say and because you're in the wrong, so you're not going ahead and wasting your time and energy proving it. But you have to take that also, and you don't have to care about that also, because all this is Maya. All of this is Maya. And what Maya does is, Maya doesn't want you to focus on your Sangam Yugi Purusharth. Maya wants you to be all over the place. Maya wants you to spend your body, mind and wealth, your time, thought and energy in the old world, grappling, fighting, doing all sort of stuff. So Baba says you have to be egoless, because only the ones who are egoless are useful for Baba. Because those who are feeding their ego can't meditate, can't do seva, can't do anything, can't embrace purity, because their mind will always be filled with these thoughts of ego. So Baba says you have to become egoless like me and egoless like Brahma Baba. You see, Brahma Baba was alleged for so many things. Yes, Brahma Baba was, so people said that, Brahma Baba is, so in the newspapers it came out that there is an old man in India who wants to marry 16,108 women and be a prince. So, when in Baba's Murli, Baba says, I want 16,108 Raniya. So they translated it like that. And there were so many huge allegations hurled at Brahma Baba. But did Brahma Baba go and spend his energy proving them wrong? No. Because, and why did he not do that? Because that's not what we are here for. We are here for creating our fortune, and we don't have to go into that. And Baba says that you also have to be egoless like Brahma Baba. And it is very important to understand what egoless means. And egoless means you don't waste your time, thought, energy, your body, mind, wealth in feeding your ego. Rather, you use it for your Purusharth and Seva. And Baba also tells us that you have to do selfless service without any greed of your own. And you see that God and God and humans, we have had a very selfish relationship since Copper Age. So we always remember Baba in time of need, don't we? So we always that's our sanskar. And I remember there was this one brother, he was going through some trouble in his business, and at that time he came to Baba, and at that time he would come very diligently every day to the class and every day for the murli. And then when his business started doing well, he started coming on Thursdays and Sundays. And then I asked him, why is this so? So he said that, Baba has given me everything and I have love for Baba, but I don't find the time to, come for the Murli every day. And why is this so? Because you see that we have shared a very selfish relationship with God since the Copper Age. So we only remember God when we need something, we want something. And Baba says that now you have to have selfless, not just the relationship has to be selfless, but even seva has to be selfless. So don't do something because you want something in return. But Baba says that there is a law of karma, and of course you will receive whatever you sow. So it's not that you will do good karma and receive nothing, but don't do it with that intention. And why is this important? Because you see that according to the law of karma, when you plant a seed of good karma, it will bear fruit. But what is not sure is when. So, maybe you're doing a lot of good karma for 5 years and there is no return coming. And but still, what will keep you going despite no return coming instantly? It is this selfless attitude. So when you understand that, when you have this stage within where you're not doing it for some gain, then you will be able to be consistent and you will be able to see the light of the day. You will be able to see the fruit of your good karma, because there are many people who do start good karma, but the thing is they are not able to make that journey where they arrive at the fruit of their karma, because they give up somewhere in the middle, because they are desperate for results. So Baba says that you must have faith that whatever you are sowing, you will reap, because Baba has said that this is the law of karma and we are all governed by the law of karma. And don't have, a short term and selfish or greed based return expectations from that karma. And when you are able to have that place or that stage within yourself, then you will be able to continuously and sustainably do good karma. And of course, according to the good karma you do, you will receive the return. Okay. So these are Baba's teachings today. Om Shanti.